Okay, the 24 hours of Daytona really screwed up my sleeping schedule, as if I didn't have enough problem sleeping already. But it was worth it. It was a brilliant race, and made me so much more excited for the start of the World Endurance Championship. And the same day as the Daytona race started, United Racing Design released a new mod, and URD is one of my absolute favorite mod makers, so every time I get a mail from them about the new release, I get excited. And this time they have released a Radical SR3 XXR, and these lightweight track day cars are some of the most fun you can have in a simulator in my opinion, so I had high hopes. And what the email describes is very interesting. URD has made this mod using official data provided by Radical Motorsports themselves, using reference data and driving feedback to provide a race car that is as exhilarating and rewarding to drive as its real-world counterpart. So this will effectively be Radical's official mod for Assetto Corsa then. And so I've obviously driven it for a bit, and when I say a bit, pretty much non-stop in all my waking hours since the 24 hours of Daytona finished. It really has been that fun of a car to play around with. It just feels great, it's light and nimble, so cornering is a blast. It does feel very stiff, so you can abuse it a fair bit through the corners as well. And even if it slips, I find that you can often recover it. But yeah, I've spent some time in the barriers too. But my driving capabilities are very limited, as we all know. It's said to be built with official data, but how realistic it is to the actual car I can't tell, because shockingly I have never driven this car. But let's go through its stats, because that's an absolute necessity when talking about cars. And when it comes to power, it has 232 horsepower, which is quite a lot, especially when the car only weighs 662 kilos. Top speed is 240 kilometers an hour, and it can go from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds, so quite the pocket rocket, I'd say. Anyway, I've taken it to almost every track available to me, racing against the AI for most of that time. I found that Donington Park was my favorite track to put it on, so that's what you're seeing on the screen. And it's just been such a good experience to play around with it. And just as every other Radical car, it looks great, and URD has made it look good in the sim as well. And I think this is a really cool way for a car company to do marketing, because let's face it, they do this for a reason. But I really wish more companies would do this sort of thing, because I of course want more quality mods for the game. But also, video games are a very effective way to promote your cars to people, and especially kids and young adults, and make their brand more recognizable for a lot of people. So I do believe that every car maker do benefit from being featured in video games. I mean, most of the cars I love, I first saw in video games, so I think this applies to others as well. But yeah, I really hope to see more of this in the future. From my lap times, I can see that I've driven another version of the SR3, but of course I have no recollection of this. It was made by the great Sean Clark though, so I assume it was awesome. And URD's SR3 is also excellent, so I can't recommend this new mod enough. Especially since it's free. The car is available from both URD's website and race department. I will of course link both below, so there really is no excuse not to try this out. I would highly recommend throwing them a tip though, because this high quality of work certainly deserves it. Anyway, the Radical SR3 XXR is URD's latest endeavor. I will of course take it around the Nordschleife to put it on my list of lap times, and that video will be up in the coming days. As usual, I'm very late in getting a video about this car out there, but it's been a while since I've talked about an Assetto Corsa mod, and I've spent so much time with this now that I felt it justified a video. But that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you didn't, then feel free to dislike it. And if you want to see more of my content, then please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.